Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. I'm joined here today with my son Tad, and we're going to talk about the amazing pictures that were released by NASA yesterday. The first images that were taken by the James Webb telescope. That, as you all know, the James Webb telescope was launched last December, and it's basically gone a million miles out into space, and it has delivered some amazing pictures, some images of our universe, which are extremely stunning. And first up, Tad, I'm going to look at this first little article here that NASA has provided on the first image that they had released yesterday. The other images were released today. The first image, though, released yesterday, shows this amazing picture as thousands of different galaxies you're looking at, basically. And it's just an amazing image, as you can see. And I'm going to read a little bit of this article that NASA has provided on it to give us a little. No, I won't read the whole thing, but we'll just give us a little idea of what this is all about. It says NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has delivered the deepest and sharpest infrared image of the distant universe so far. Webb's first deep field is galaxy cluster SMACS 0723, and it is teeming with thousands of galaxies, including the faintest objects ever observed in the infrared. Webb's image is approximately the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length, a tiny sliver of the vast universe. Now, wow, that's amazing to think about. I mean, that's basically what they're saying, is that image that we are looking at right here is basically tantamount to just a grain of sand that you would have in your hand, holding it out away from your body at arm's length. And that's basically all you're seeing is a small section of the universe, a grain of sand's worth portion of the universe, but yet you still see thousands of galaxies. And the amazing thing about this image is that, you know, when you consider, I mean, these are thousands of galaxies, each galaxy with billions of suns and trillions of billions of planets and possibly trillions of suns, depending on the size of these galaxies. I mean, our own Milky Way galaxy itself has a mind-boggling 1.5 trillion suns. And all, you know, just in our galaxy alone, scientists estimate that there's between 6 billion and 10 billion planets that are similar to Earth. So then you look at this now, these images that NASA has provided. I mean, this image in particular of all these different galaxies, it's just amazing. It's amazing. And actually, in a way, we actually are looking back in time, because that light, you know, the universe is so vast. I mean, it's, you know, taking many years to travel to the point that it's at here. So some of these galaxies could be gone by this point, and we're just seeing the light now. It's just getting here. That's how vast the universe is. But I guess the point here, looking at this amazing picture, would be, you know, I can't. I mean, just looking at this, you have to realize that there's definitely life in other places. I mean, you considered our galaxy alone, with the, you know, between where there estimates between 6 billion and 10 billion planets that could be like Earth, and 1.5 trillion stars just here. And then you look at this, and you're looking at a picture of thousands of other galaxies, and that's only a small portion of the universe, only a sand, you know, a particle of sand, you know, portion of the universe that you're seeing. It's just, it's hard to I can't wrap my mind around it, but I don't know. It just goes to show, I mean, how could anyone look at this and not believe that there's other life out there? I mean, now, if for one thing, in our galaxy, I'm sure there's other planets that's most certainly harboring life. And if you look at this, there's most certainly, you know, life in all these other galaxies, and probably who knows how much there could be, and, you know, the forms it could take. You know, I'm sure some are not nearly as advanced as us, and then there's probably some that are so far advanced, probably 100 billion. Who knows? To me, when I look at these images, it looks like I see all these thousands of galaxies, and this is only a small, tiniest representation of the universe that surrounds us, our galaxy, basically. The a very tiny representation, but yet we're looking at thousands of other galaxies. And so, if you were to, turn the camera a little bit more, and look in another direction, I'm sure you'd be seeing in another grain of salt portion of the universe, you'd be seeing 1,000 other galaxies that aren't in this image here. And I just find that amazing to. And I guess it's hard for me to understand how anyone could believe that, that we're not being visited here by extraterrestrials just by looking at these images. I mean, when you try to take everything into consideration, it just seems to me that there's no question. Yeah, there's other intelligent life. There has to be other life that's more intelligent than the human race. We're not the on the top of the food chain here when it comes to intelligent life in this grand universe that we all live in.
Yes, this is one of the sorts of images I think that would help to show to the average person just how big and the universe is, that sort of thing.
Well, I mean, I'm an average person, and I mean, any average person could look at this though, and it's just too overwhelming to even contemplate. That's where I'm at with this. I don't know. I'm not sure how to take it. It's just hard to try to drink all this in. I can't even begin to understand what this all means. It's just too big to try to figure out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it basically, the universe seems like it's endless. And I heard someone earlier today on some YouTube channel talking about and this is a scientist actually saying that that she believes that these things, basically what goes on, like, this never ends. It's people say that the universe started with the Big Bang, but this person was saying that at some point this universe that we're in right now there will be a big crunch, right, where everything will be, when all these galaxies start to die, they'll all collapse into one spot, and then it will become this thing called the Big Crunch. I'm not going to try to sit here and try to understand what it all means, but then there'll be another Big Bang. So is that what's been going on for an eternity? There's always a Big Bang, and then you have this expansion of the universe, and then finally the universe collapses in on itself, and there's a big crunch, and then there's another Big Bang, and it just keeps going on and on and on. And when did it start? How did it start? Where does it end? Does it ever end? How does there, it's just, is there anything beyond the universe? I don't know. It's just it's really hard to wrap one's mind around what's going on here.
Well, these are the metaphysical questions, the fundamental primordial questions of life, and that sort of thing. This sort of image does help initiate those sorts of metaphysical questions in a person. And that's why I think humans, as groups like NASA, chase after these sorts of things to help people, aside from all just the practical science aspects that they learn along the way, and doing these wonderful adventures of getting these wonderful photos from those, such as they do. It also helps people understand and contemplate more fundamental questions of life, such as seeing this, and I think that something like this might seem small, but it generates a cultural shift in that it reminds people of those metaphysical questions.
Well, I guess when I look at this, it makes me think that, wow, we're not even at like, if in the grand scheme of things, like, we think we're actually advanced, right? But it makes me actually think, well, we're not even primitives. we're not even at a primitive stage yet, as with regard to trying to unlock the mysteries and of the universe, to try to there's going to be as long as the human race doesn't die out somehow, right? We're going to continue to advance, and we're going to start exploring our own galaxy, and that's going to take. I mean, the course of something like that, our own galaxy. I mean, when you think 1.5 trillion suns and 6 billion to 10 billion Earth-like planets, and then even the non-Earth-like planets. I mean, we're going to be interested in checking out a lot of those. You know, you just think we're such at an early stage of what human history might turn out to be. I mean, maybe we could destroy ourselves in the next 10 years, or if somehow we were able to survive and advance, maybe we could be even at some, I mean, it could be over the course of 100 million years, right? But or I don't know, we could explore our galaxy, and then maybe at some point we might be, I don't know if there's a way to do it now. I'm sure that our scientists will tell us no way, but are we going to be able to possibly travel from this galaxy to and go to these other galaxies? I mean, that's another question. But again, I think we're so far. We're again, when you look at this, it's like, well, we now know what exists. I mean, we've known these existed before. These are just the best images we've ever seen, right? There was images before that we've seen from the Hubble telescope that gave us an idea of what the vastness of the universe. Except these new images from the James Webb telescope are a lot more detailed, and it's just mind-boggling to see this again. That telescope now, that's 1 million miles out into space since it was launched in December, and it's sending back these amazing images. And this is the first one that they released yesterday. And again, looking at that, and they're just, each one of those lights basically represents another galaxy. And again, that's only, I mean, the most mind-boggling part of this, that's only represents about a piece of sand worth of the galaxy, of the universe. I mean, that's only a piece of sand that we're looking at, and we're seeing thousands of galaxies, and each of those galaxies have, billions upon billions of stars and billions of planets in each of them, and there's stories, and there's solar all these different, billions, trillions of different solar systems with planets going around them, with all their own different stories. Some of them have life. Most certainly, some of them have harbor life, just like Earth. Maybe not the same kind, exact life, but there's definitely no question that there's life in some of these. Some of it's intelligent, some of it's not, I'm sure. But again, it's just a mind-boggling image to look at, and I'm really, I mean, this is one of the neatest things about NASA, providing these kind of pictures to give us the human race an idea of what lies beyond.